It's finally here, folks. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Series 1 has finally made its way to the United States. It's only taken about a year and a half for them to get here, and they're finally here. Even Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers, and the Invisible Hand, Don Callis want to take a look at these guys open. Next on Tales from Collector's Paradise, featuring Bigsteviepump. Tales from Collector's Paradise, hosted by yours truly, Bigsteviepump. Hey guys, Bigsteviepump here. Welcome to Tales from Collector's Paradise, exclusively on BSPN. Alright guys, seriously, thank you for joining me here today, guys, and I appreciate all the likes and the comments and the subscriptions, man, and we're growing on Instagram too, guys, and the website, remember, becollectibles.com. I appreciate you guys checking all that stuff out and support me on all that. Hey, hashtag Pump Squad and hashtag Just Keep Grinding, baby. That's what we're doing here. And man, have I got something cool for you guys today, so I want to get into it here real quick. New Japan Pro Wrestling. These things, they went pre-order probably like a year and a half ago, and I probably didn't pre-order mine to closer till about a year ago. I kind of was watching on some of these sites, and a lot of times, you know, maybe only a couple of places would get these, like Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth or Ringside Collectibles, you know, but some of the online sites like that are going to get them. You know, Walmart, Target, places like that aren't going to get them. So anyway, so you kind of got to watch them, and then if you see them start to sell out at one of those sites, well, you're probably going to want to pre-order them pretty quickly from one of the other places that's got them available, because it's just a matter of time before they all sell out. Anyway, so that's just a quick tip on that. You know, at any of those websites, you know, any of the ones you like to check out like that, some of these products are going to be kind of online exclusives or whatever, and that's what we got for you today. New Japan Pro Wrestling Wave 1, and I'm super excited to get my hands on these, so you know what? Let's not delay any further, folks. Let's just go ahead and get my grubby little hands on them so you guys can see them. We're going to compare them to the Mattel and some of the Jakks and some of the WrestlingSuperstore.com figures and the Jazzwares, the AEW. I want to get a little bit of size comparison so you can see how you think it may fit into your, you know, action figure plans or whatever. So, you know, people that collect wrestling figures. Anyway, hang tight, guys. All right, guys, and you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I have actually slid these out of the brown box already just to look at them. The day that I got them, you know, a couple days actually after I got them, I've been delaying getting this video out, but my son Andrew had come over here, and he really wanted to see what they look like because he'd looked at them online and stuff. So anyway, so I went ahead and pulled them out. I haven't, like I said, opened them out of the package, but I've opened them this far. And let's just set that box down for a minute. And I mean, I'm not going to pull every single one of them out of the brown packaging, but I think, you know, pulling one out's probably appropriate, and then I'm going to show them to you. You know, I'm going to show them all to you package. I just mean I'm not going to unveil them all like this necessarily. The packaging on this is just simply awesome. It really is. I mean, they've done a great job. I like the logo. You know, I like the ring posts. You know, I think they've done a really great job on this. I can't wait to get this open. And it's almost a shame to open it with how epic the packaging is. Cool, got some statistics here. Okada. Not even going to attempt to pronounce his first name. I may at some point. You just never know. Anyway, let me pull the other ones out, and then I'll show you all of them up close. Hold on just a second. All right. So let's go ahead and get the Stone Pitbull Ishii up here, man. Tomohiro Ishii. The Stone Pitbull. Let's see. You know how Bigsteviepump likes to do it. I don't know how good that one will be. And he comes with the Never Open Weight Championship belt. And I'm really curious to see, you know, get these open. I'm a big fan of the packaging. And sorry about that glare as I spin it around. But that's just the way it is there. The Stone Pitbull Ishii, man. And I'm super stoked about having these. And this Will Ospreay, man, he's got some kind of cool accessories here that he comes with. This sword and this little like eagle or whatever it is. It's a flaming torch or something. I'll have to get a little bit better look at it. I'm just now really, like I said, I did pull these out just to make sure that, you know, everything looked good, and it was the 4 different ones and everything. So I did do that, and we glanced at them, but besides that, I didn't pull them out. They're still, you can see, you still got the strap, you know, the silver tie in there, keeping him in the package. You know, I guess it's just a trophy. Yeah, it's the trophy for him winning, I guess, the Super Juniors or whatever, something like that. One of the tournaments that they have over there. And there's Hiroshi Tanahashi. He's one of the greatest of all time, man, in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he comes with, like, their Intercontinental title there. So, yeah, he's one of the definite best of all time. He comes with the guitar here. He's very similar to kind of a Chris Jericho type, you know, or whatever. But I think he's held their title more times than anybody, if I remember correctly. He's held all kind of titles. Anyway, let's get a look at with Tadahashi here. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail. Who knows? But anyway, these are cool, man. I really dig these. Make sure we show the back here. And, yeah, it doesn't show all the championships they've won and stuff. But as you see, they all come with belts. I guess you couldn't see. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Will Ospreay does have a belt underneath him there, and Okada definitely has a belt. So they all come with championship belts. And that's one of the complaints I've seen people. I guess they feel like once they open it, you can't hardly snap it back. So we'll see them. We'll get my hands on them. A few people have already got these. A lot of people haven't opened them because the packaging's so cool, and the packaging is really cool, man. I'll tell you what. So, but we're going to go ahead and get them open, and I'll be right back. Hang tight. All right, one more quick look at the packaging here. Looks like you can still see Bigsteviepump's reflection there in the packaging. Anyway, let's pause it and let you look at the back real quick. All right. The packaging is so awesome. That's the reason I want you to really appreciate it and get a look at it, you know, because I'm about to open them up. And I'm definitely going to do it in a way that it looks like, you know, they just got a piece of tape right there. That ain't nothing that a Buck 382-1 can't take down. I'll tell you that much right now. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and open them up as carefully as possible to save this awesome packaging. All right, folks, be right back. Okay, let's get a look at their accessories because they all come with the exact same hands. But, man, just real quick, though, just the wow factor of just standing on your shelf, though, I think they look pretty good. Of course, I knock his belt down when I do that. But anyway, I think they look pretty good, man. I mean, really, I do. Just you know, with the clothes on or whatever, the accessories, they put a lot of money and work and time into these accessories. Now, do I wish they would have put a little bit more effort into the figures? Sure. But, I mean, you know, like the hair on Tanahashi there. I mean, there's Will Ospreay and, Okada. But and you can see, you know, he comes with that trophy. He comes with that sword. They all have the closed hands on. I'll just pan across their hands real quick. And if you'll notice, one shame on you is that this has got, let's see, tape on it. But they didn't paint it. They all have that. So they all come with the exact same sets of hands there, which, you know, good and bad, you know, an extra head, and then, you know, the Stone Pitbull come with a chair, and of course the Never Open Weight Championship. Excuse me, and we're going to hold these up in just in a minute. And Okada comes with the money, of course the guitar, Tanahashi there, and of course the Intercontinental belt, of course the heavyweight championship there with Okada. And then Will Ospreay, I'll show his belt in a minute, the junior heavyweight championship belt. Anyway, you can see there, that's what their accessories look like, but we're going to get them up close. Let's take a look. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I've been hanging and banging with the guys at RememberABiaCollectibles.com. That's right, Bigsteviepump and Cousin Davey. And they're telling me they got all the wrestling figures coming in stock. That's right, just like this WWE Mattel Ultimate NWO Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That's what it looks like loose right there, folks. You can get them right now at RememberABiaCollectibles.com, brother. What else can you get? Check it out, check it out, check it out. WrestleMania series, Bill to Paul Ellering. We got Edge. We got Shawn Michaels. We got Chyna. And we got Goldberg. in stock right now at RememberToBeACollectibles.com. What you gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania and RememberToBeACollectibles.com runs wild on you? Ooh. All right, and real quick, so I've tried the last couple of days to go to Taco Bell. I know this is completely just out of nowhere, but it just crossed my mind because I've got some of my fans, or viewers of the show, subscribers that are, hey, when are you going to do another food review? Well, anyway, Taco Bell is supposed to be getting in Nashville, supposed to be getting a test run on the chicken, their version of the chicken sandwich. Well, anyway, I've tried for the last couple of days to go to a couple of different Taco Bells, and they don't have it yet. It was supposed to come out a couple of days ago here in Nashville, and I think like Charlotte, North Carolina. And anyway, I've tried to go to Taco Bell the last couple of days so I can be one of the first people to review that. So I'll keep trying, but hopefully I'll get a food review out on that pretty soon. So anyway, just throwing that out there. So let's start with the Stone Pitbull Ishii. So the thing about the Stone Pitbull, he comes with the never open weight championship, and definitely some people were complaining about the way it fastens and it doesn't do that great. Well, I got it to fasten back. We'll see how it does. Hopefully it'll hold position, but yeah, I don't really think that's going to fit around him too well. It was struggling in the package there, but there's the never open weight championship. Now, okay, so some of the complaints about these figures. First off, the real cloth shirt, that's not a complaint at all. That's just epic. But it does, it doesn't even Velcro. It's like a real shirt that you're going to have to put on and off like a real shirt. So that's actually, in a way, that's good. We'll take that off in just a second. But so the knees. So they don't have double jointed knees. Excuse me. So a lot of people were complaining about that. You can see the ankle swivel there. So the ankles has got pretty decent articulation. Now, the knees, granted, I feel like there should be a double joint there. Also, there is no upper thigh or even at the cut here. The only swivel is up top. It's on a ball joint. Now, so they can, do the splits or whatever. And, it's not like the range of mobility is awful. But what a lot of people are talking about, and then, of course, you can see the elbow bend. This doesn't look beautiful. And you can bend it up, and it, once again, not a full range of articulation. So people are like, man, these figures are like $45, okay? So people are like, for $45 in 2021, we should definitely get better articulation. And I'm not going to dispute that. Probably should be better articulation. They made you wait, a year and a half for them. Now, like I said, but the wow factor of these guys sitting on your shelf, and let's see how easy it is to get the shirt off here. Just like taking it off real human, I guess. Maybe. It's not that easy, I'm going to tell you what. Let's see here. Because of his elbow pads and stuff, they've not made this easy to get off. But we're trying, folks. Let's see, we're trying. I don't want to rip it. So that's, you see Bigsteviepump struggling. That's how the struggle is. The struggle is real, folks. All right. We finally got it off of the Stone Pitbull Ishii. Almost. It's hung on his armband there. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just leave it hung on his armband for a second. But you can see there, they do have the upper bicep swivel. And, like I said, they've got the wrist articulation is fine. Some of the articulation is fine. I just, it probably should be a little bit better. It's irritating that that's like hung on his elbow pad, but I'm not going to, I'll probably leave him on the shelf with the shirt on anyway. All right. So we've spent enough time on the Stone Pitbull Ishii. So let's go ahead and move on to the next person. Hang tight. All right, next up is Will Ospreay. And, this New Japan, a lot of these guys have worked with like an ROH, maybe even some in AEW or TNA over the years, Impact Wrestling. So a lot of these guys I've seen, throughout the years. So it's like, that's how I've got familiarity with some of these. And I've, wanted figures of some of these guys. The Okada coming up is definitely one that I've been wanting for a long time. Now, so you can see once again the articulation. Like I said, I've pointed that out. But I think, just really, I think they've done a pretty good job in these accessories, the cloth robes and stuff, and this Velcro's right here, and opens up and reveals the Junior Heavyweight Championship, the IWGP. And that stands for International Wrestling Grand Prix. So it's kind of like a governing body, like the NWA, like the National Wrestling Alliance, and then the different promotions, you had a champion. And it's similar, but anyway, the IWGP is the governing body. So the New Japan Pro Wrestling Champion, it's the IWGP titles. All their titles are, sanctioned by IWGP. So that's the deal with that. So that's why they say IWGP. So that's what's going on. New Japan Pro Wrestling, anyway. So that's that's a cool title. I'm stoked to add these 4 titles to my collection. I like to have the championship belt, and then of course the cloth, his jacket comes off. Maybe I should have shown Will Ospreay here and shown the articulation on him instead of Stone Pitbull, because his jacket just comes right off. But you can see, like I said, it's not terrible articulation. It's just, it could be a little better. I agree. It definitely could be a little better. But at the same time, it's not awful. I mean, I feel like some people online are giving these some pretty hard times. Now, the paint tones, I don't know how well this will pick up, but it's not consistent. The paint tones, it kind of fades in and out in some spots. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. But in person, you can kind of tell it. But it definitely doesn't look bad. I mean, it's, like I said, these guys sitting on your shelf, I mean, you're probably not paying, $45 a figure to be. You might do some action figure photography with them and stuff, but I doubt you're going to let them, beat them all around. I doubt that. So, for that sitting on your shelf, I mean, these things are awesome, man. And we'll get into some size comparisons here in just a little bit. All right, so Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, a couple of really cool things, and this one might be let's see. That one might be the thumbnail. Who knows, folks? I like the way they did the hair highlights. Now, that's something that people online, other people that's reviewed these have pointed out that they like. Because the other companies, Mattel and even Jazzwares, can't seem to get the hair exactly right. And they've done a good job here. Now, another thing I like. This is actually, it's a very hard pleather. Now, it is kind of got that leather. It's like a vinyl. But it's got that leathery type feel to it. And then up top here, this is like a velvet, almost like a cloth. So the material changes. I mean, they nailed this jacket. I think they've done a good job with the shirts and the accessories and the jackets. I mean, it's just like, now the hands, like I said, they all come with the exact same hands. It's whatever. But, the figures, once again, I feel like they could have potentially have done a little bit better job with the figures. But, man, the accessories, look at this work, folks. I mean, look at this work. So, I mean, it's a $45 figure, Of course, you can save 10%. Use the code CHAMP, I think still works. Code GRIM, I think will work. So there's a couple of different codes you can get 10%. And if those don't, just search it at Ringside Collectibles. But, of course, the championship belt, the Intercontinental, that once again, IWGP, torso bend. I mean, now the guitar, let me actually grab that. And I should have actually showed the Will Ospreay accessories. But the guitar is actually pretty flimsy. And it's pretty thin, but it's fine. Of course, they've got hands on him that he can't play it, so we would have to put some other hands on him to really get him to kind of hold it or whatever. But should probably have a strap, but whatever. It's whatever. But they ain't trying to sell you a guitar. They're trying to sell you a $40 figure, $45 figure. So like I said, the price on these are pretty high, but for the branding, you're not going to get these characters. I mean, it's like, who knows what Jazzwares will have coming down the line or Mattel, but I mean, odds are you're not going to get New Japan Pro Wrestling branded figures. I mean, you're just not. So that's why I was pretty stoked to add some of these guys to my collection, some of these legendary guys, man. And this guy right here, Okada. Kazuchika, nope, Kazuchika, and I just can't even do it. Kazuchika. Nope, it's Kazuchika, and then Okada, Okada. Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika, I don't know. The commentators can say it so good, and Bigsteviepump can barely say it at all and really can't. But no matter what, we're still going to get a look at Okada. So I can say Okada. I can say that one. Okay. Look at the absolute ridiculous detail that they've done to this coat. It is leather, it's the cloth, and this is not like the vinyl it's not hard the way the Tanahashi is. The gold chains that comes off. Once again, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt. I mean, this Okada, man, he's pretty sick, man. I mean, sitting on your shelf, this figure right here, and of course he comes with that little money. Let's look at the back of him here. The Rainmaker, man. This figure is just absolutely freaking sick, man. It is just absolutely sick. Let's see if we can get his jacket off. I mean, even the way that they've done, the layers on his jacket. I mean, Mattel, Jazzwares, I mean, y'all should take notice of this. I mean, granted, this is a more expensive figure, but they have just nailed it. Look at that jacket. That little fake leather smell, whatever. And you got Okada. I mean, the championship belt. Their top prize. I like the way they painted the gold right there on the tip. Very nice touch. Very nice. I mean, man, I tell you what. Now, of course, they painted this on this arm sleeve as opposed to it being a 3D accessory. But, it's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm a big fan of these. I feel like I'm probably a much bigger fan of these than some of the people I've been seeing online. I mean, like I said, 45 bucks, is a lot to pay for an action figure. But the licensing, these belts, you're not going to get this. I mean, you're paying for, it's like an import. I mean, it's Super 7. So, I mean, yeah, they put figures out here all the time. But I'm just saying, it's like from New Japan Pro Wrestling, the detail work on the accessories, on the knee pads, on the championship belt, on the necklace, on the coat. I mean, they have put so much work into the accessories. And like I said, just these standing on your shelf, there's not really going to be much better looking figures standing on your shelf than these guys right here. Now, we're going to go ahead and, like I said I was going to compare some other figures, and we're going to do that here in just in a moment. I wanted to get the coat back on Okada while I was talking. But like I said, just the unbelievable amount of work they've done on this, the detail is just absolutely insane. Now, I know that Kenny Omega is not too thrilled with Okada showing up on his show, man, because he's got the AEW championship belt right here. Okada's got the New Japan Pro Wrestling Championship belt, the IWGP. These guys, people complained about the sizing. I'm not sure, folks. I don't really know what you're complaining about. Looks pretty on point to me. These guys can definitely live in the same world. I mean, here you see them standing on my hand there. I mean, it's like they are definitely like living in the same world. I'm not sure what people's complaint is. I don't know. I'm a big fan of these folks. I mean, like I said, I think I like them a whole lot better than some people. Even this morning, I was looking on Instagram. People were just saying these are trash and all this. I'm just like, well, I need to get my hands on them and see what's up. But I'm gonna do a few figure comparisons here. We'll compare them. I'm gonna let's see. There you see Okada and you see Omega. Well, let's go ahead and compare them to like the Brian Cage. So this is at like Wrestling Superstore. So you saw the first comparison was Jazzwares. So now the Wrestling Superstore figures, they're like the old Jacks anyway, the old bone, the Ruthless Aggression style, excuse me. So you can definitely see, now Brian Cage is a bigger wrestler than Okada, so this one works out okay, and that's not a great Brian Cage, as you see. The Wolverine. I can't wait till Jazzwares actually does one. But anyway, you can see, once again, they could live in the same world. It's not perfect. But, you know, this figure is like a $30 figure, and this is a, you know, $40, $45 figure, and this is definitely a whole lot better. I mean, this cage come with, I can't remember, he might have come with a chair or something, but he didn't come with any other kind of accessories or clothes or anything. You just got this. So it's like, yeah, I'll spend the extra 10 and get all this ridiculousness that they're offering me with that. Now, let's compare it to, let's see, what do we got? Well, Pentagon Junior, you know, he says he's up for Action Figure of the Year. Now, Okada, I'm not sure if Okada's going to challenge for that or not. Like I said, I mean, based on articulation and stuff, probably not. Setting on your shelf, you know, appearance, there's a chance that Okada could make it into the Action Figure of the Year running. But there's Pentagon Junior. So once again, you can see, if you wanted to have Pentagon Junior and Okada live in the same world and fight and create that dream match of epic proportions, could you imagine, man? Pentagon Junior and Okada, that's a pretty sick bout right there, man. But anyway, you can see, pretty good, man. Like I said, that's already another Jazzwares, but I'm supposed to be doing a Mattel. So let's see, what do we got? Let's find a Mattel figure here. Let's find a Mattel. What we got? We don't want Big Show. He's a little big, too big Mattel-ish. Well, here's a Christian Cage. Here's a new signee. We'll bring out Christian Cage. So you can see Christian Cage next to Okada. So this is a Mattel figure. And this is a Super 7 figure. So, I mean, the scale is perfect, folks. I mean, like I said, people online were kind of complaining about it or whatever. But, you know, I think it's pretty good. But, yeah, Christian Cage just showed up on AEW, you know, pretty recently. So, what else have we got? Let's see. Okada. Well, let's go ahead and bring out. Well, I wanted to compare. Oh, yeah. We'll get Jushin Thunder Liger. I'll be right back. He's close by, folks. He's close by. All right. Jushin Thunder Liger. We're going to compare him to Okada. Now, in this particular situation, Jushin Thunder Liger is going to be, you know, once again, still pretty close. I mean, Jushin Thunder Liger's a little bit bulkier figure, and he's a Storm Collectibles. So, you can see there, you know, the sizing of them, trying to compare them up, you know. Like I said, the Jushin Thunder Liger is a little bit bulkier figure, but they can live in the same world. It's close enough. You know, and like I said, the articulation's not great on the Liger either for what it is. And it's actually a more expensive figure. I mean, it's like $50. So $50 for this or $40, $45 for this. I'll take the Okada and the New Japan Pro Wrestling figures, you know, made by Super 7 over the Storm Collectibles as far as the sizing and the price goes. But anyway, some pretty awesome figures. So, I mean, I've showed you some pretty cool figures that I've pulled out. The Jushin Thunder Liger, you know, we've seen Kenny Omega, and this Okada, he doesn't want to stand all that great. Sorry, I'm not trying to get you to look at the back of my head too much, but I just want to get this Okada to stand up. He's been getting a lot of work today. Anyway, you see that that's kind of the size comparisons on some of these. And, you know, overall, like I said, I'm a fan of these. I think they're cool, man. I dig them. So, I mean, I don't have any problem with the scale, the size, or any of that stuff, man. So, you know, hang tight. We got just one quick final thought, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, I appreciate you joining me today. And like I said, you know, it's like I think they're cool. I'm a fan of these figures. I mean, I'm glad I got Series 2 pre-ordered. I'm not going to be as hard on them as a lot of the people on the internet are. I think they're way cool. So, anyway, it is what it is, folks. But, you know, I would say they're a purchase. I mean, for $40, $45, I know that's kind of steep. But, you know, if you use one of them coupons and then, you know, order them from Ringside, I mean, you can get a pretty decent deal on them. For the licensing, you know, you're not going to get them. Nobody else is producing these figures. You know, if you want something like that to add to your collection, I like trying to get all kind of different personalities for my collection. That's what I shoot for. So I just, you know, I had to have these. I wanted them, so I went ahead and hooked. So anyway, once again, guys, this has been Tales from Collector's Paradise featuring Bigsteviepump. I appreciate all your likes and your comments and your subscriptions. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Trying to get some food reviews out. We're going to get some more positive messages out. Got another couple of shows coming out. Some new debut shows that's coming out soon, guys. We got a lot going on in 2021, and hopefully I can keep working on getting this toy box cleared out. So, guys, keep sticking with me. But for now, Bigsteviepump out! Tales from Collector's Paradise, hosted by yours truly, Bigsteviepump. What about me? What about Raven? How are you wearing a Raven shirt and not even reviewing a Raven or using it for size comparisons?